I'll get back to those details about what exactly has been happening today in a jiffy, but let's interrogate a few of the issues that came up when it comes to the Ghartey Committee's report. I'm joined here by a member of the committee that did the investigation, the Honorable Abdallah. He's the Member of Parliament for Offenso South, also a member of the Ghartey Committee. He's also the chairman of the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament. Honorable Abdallah, thank you very much for joining us.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
In summary, for you, how did your work go investigating this whole bribery scandal?
Very well. The work was assigned to us. We called witnesses. We took the evidence. At the end of the day, we evaluated the evidence. We used basically two standards because there was a divided opinion as to which of the standards should we use. Should we use a higher standard or we should use, a low standard? That is, prove on the balance of probabilities or prove beyond all reasonable doubt.
Prove or reasonable doubt, is that amounts to why you call the criminal test?
Yes, that is the criminal standard. And the proof on the balance of probabilities is the civil standard. That one is lower than the criminal standard. Some of us did argue that to the extent that bribery allegation is a criminal offense, the standard ought to be proved beyond all reasonable doubt. And some will also say, no, this is just a fact-finding committee just to inquire into the bribery allegation matter and to come up with findings and to make recommendations. So we should use the civil standard. If you look at it from the two-dimensional angles, whether criminal standard or civil standard, to a large extent, we came to the same conclusion.
But that's actually where the Honorable Ayariga has concerns, that if you decided to use the higher standard, which is more like the criminal test when it comes to these issues, he should have been given the opportunity to cross-examine the witnesses. Why didn't you give him that opportunity?
First of all, anybody who appeared before the committee was a witness. Strictly speaking, it wasn't a criminal trial or a trial, so to speak, like it happens or pertains in the court of competent jurisdiction. But you see, if, for instance, in the courtroom, after a person has given evidence, after you've cross-examined the person, and you want to have the person recalled for further cross-examination, in the courtroom, based on a tangible reason, the court may allow you to have the witness recalled and do further cross-examination. In this particular case, the hearing was done in public. The evidence given by Honorable Muntaka was given in public. So if Mama Yarga felt that the evidence of Muntaka did not sync with him, or there was something he wanted to clarify, he could have prayed the committee that, no, the evidence Muntaka came to give, I have one or two questions that I want to ask him. We could have given him that opportunity to do it.
So it's his own fault that he didn't get that opportunity, to the extent that he didn't come asking.
He had every right to have communicated his intention of having Honorable Muntaka recalled for him to do cross-examination. But he didn't avail himself of that opportunity. So if he didn't avail himself of that opportunity, whom do you blame? You can't blame us.
So his, foul cry, if I could call it so, that because he wasn't given that opportunity, then this whole conclusion that you've come to is actually unfair to him. For you, this cry, he shouldn't be making a big issue out of it, should he?
The fact of the matter is that the person you claim you collected the money from, who I will describe as a material witness, in this particular case, Honorable Muntaka Mubarak, when he came or appeared before the committee, he rebutted what you claim he did. To which you collected the 3,000, the said 3,000 Ghana cedis from him. When he came, the evidence he gave was to the hearing of everybody. He said all that Mama Yarga came to say in connection with the said bribery allegation was a colossal untruth.
Interesting. And then it became, your word against, words
So
between
it
the
became
two of
the
them, one's
word
word against
of
the other.
Muntaka against the word of Mama Yarga. And in law, Mama Yarga should have gone a step further
By providing
by
evidence, you mean?
providing extra evidence to say, no, Muntaka, what you are rather saying is not the truth. What I am telling or what I'm saying is the truth.
Let's talk
And
about
that
extra
was not done.
evidence. Let's talk about extra evidence. Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa wrote to your committee and asked you to examine the CCTV footage in Parliament House, and you'd have seen that, at one point in time, you went ahead, someone went to deliver money in Muntaka's office. Let me quote a portion of the report as, what has come out. The committee examined the footage and called 3 witnesses, as in the acting marshal, the director of ICT, and also the ICT officer. The evidence of the 3 witnesses was key in private sittings. This is because their evidence included the workings of CCTV surveillance in Parliament. The evidence did not influence the committee to change its decision relating to the second term of reference. Why are you unable to tell us what exactly you found when you
No,
examined
we
the
didn't see
CCTV
anything.
camera?
We didn't see anything.
You didn't see people strolling to
gave us
Muntake's
a
office to
lead.
hand over money?
When we followed the lead, we did not get the evidence that we wanted. So the lead did not help us.
So what did you see when you examined the CCTV?
I didn't see anything. We didn't see anything. To the extent that the CCTV camera borders on the security of Parliament, there are certain things I cannot reveal to the hearing of the public. But we have written our findings or written our decision in connection with what we saw when we went and watched the CCTV footage and have delivered same to the speaker.
What are you trying to hide for which you think we shouldn't see some of those details relating to what you found when you watched the
footage?
footage?
Significant to be hidden. But the bottom line here is that when we went and watched the CCTV footage, we did not see anything.
Is it that
So it didn't help us.
Is it that someone had probably deleted the said footages and so you didn't see what Mr. Blackwell was pointing you to? Could that have been the case?
Nobody, I'm not saying that anybody has deleted any CCTV, the footage. Nobody has deleted anything. He claimed that some people, after the incident and when they decided to return the money, went to Muntaka's office with the monies in envelopes and handed over or returned same to Muntaka.
You didn't see
So
that when you examined it?
the CCTV footage captured it. But when we went and watched the CCTV footage, what I'm saying is that we didn't see anything.
That's fine. Let's round it up briefly. Mr. Arega thinks that your committee did not have the power to commit him for contempt. What do you say to that?
We have absolutely every power. If you read the terms of reference given to the committee by the House or by the Speaker, the third term of reference is to look into the remit of the complaints made by the Honorable First Deputy Speaker of Parliament. To look into the remit of the complaint. And what was the complaint? The complaint was that Honorable Joseph Opoku was saying that his reputation had been damaged by the said bribery allegation. If you make or publish a falsehood against a member of Parliament, and at the end of the day, an investigation is carried into the matter, and it is established that that allegation cannot be sustained, either in fact or in law, then you will be deemed to have committed contempt of Parliament. And that was the finding that we came up with. So there was nothing that we did that went outside our scope or that went outside the jurisdiction vested in us to carry out this
The
investigation.
Speaker really wanted the committee to, find someone guilty or otherwise for contempt. Why wasn't it clearly stated? Because it looks embedded in the final term of reference.
And if you read the standing orders, the standing orders say that an instruction given to a committee presupposes that in respect of a matter, the committee can invest, in this particular case, could investigate other matters ancillary to the substantive matter. And we didn't do anything that was contrary to the instruction given to the committee. And in any case, what we came up with by way of recommendations, to a large extent, to the extent that they are recommendations, they are not binding on the House. We only recommended that because of ABCD, because the bribery allegation could not be proven, what was the consequence? The consequence here was that Mama Yarga peddled falsehood, whether intentionally or unintentionally, whether politically or that a peddling of the falsehood was motivated by a political consideration. The bottom line here is that somebody's reputation has been injured. And what is the remedy? The remedy is what we provided.
What do you make of suggestions that an external body should probably take up this and do further investigation into it? Because some members of the public appear not to trust the outcome of this, and so just maybe it's about time Shraj or some other organization stepped in. Would you be willing and ready to hand over whatever details you've gathered to that institution?
Parliament is an independent arm of government. Just like the judiciary is also an independent arm of government. When the Anas Armiyaun's issue cropped up, did we say that an independent body should investigate into the matter? Even when the judiciary decided to go into the matter, did they do public hearing or they did everything in camera? But we could also have done everything in camera. But for the sake of transparency, for the sake of the integrity of Parliament, we in our wisdom decided that we should do it publicly, to the hearing of the public and to the sight of the public, for the public to also assess, public opinion to also assess and evaluate the authenticity and the efficacy of the evidence.
And so this is what we did. And for you, so this suggestion is completely out of place. A good job has been done. We should accept it hook, line, and sinker. Is that what you say?
I will not say that I've done a good job. What I will say is that the committee led by Honorable Joe Ghartey, we've done the best we possibly can, and we've done it to the best of our ability and our knowledge. As for the judgment, it is for the public to be judgmental of our work. Even Supreme Court decisions are at times criticized and critiqued. I'm not saying our judgment or our decision is above reproach, or it cannot be critiqued, or we may not have erred somewhere along the line, or we did not evaluate certain pieces of evidence well. That's what I'm saying. But we have done our work to the best of our ability and to the best of our knowledge. It is worthy to note, it is very significant to note that this committee comprises 5 members of Parliament, 2 from the minority side and 3 from the majority side. Whatever decision that we took the decision by consensus. It was not a majority decision. If it was a majority decision, one will say that there was some political consideration embedded in it.
That's fine.
Do you understand my point? So, to the extent that the decision that we took was by consensus, I mean, we couldn't have arrived at any other decision than what we have now come to.
My final question would be, what could we expect when the Speaker eventually delivers his ruling on this particular case? What can we all expect? You are a legal brain. You're also chairman of the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament. You understand the proceedings better than ours. What should we look forward to?
No, I don't know. I cannot read the minds of the Speaker. But we have the sanction regimes. We have the apology. We have the reprimand. We have the suspension. We have the expulsion.
On the suspension
we decided to take the list, or to recommend the list of the punishment, because first of all, this had never happened before, and secondly, the person is a member of Parliament, and thirdly, this is the first time he has committed, let me put it that way, a contempt of Parliament, and we didn't want to destroy the cohesion, the unity, and the togetherness that we want to build in Parliament. That explains the reason why at the end of the day, when we decided to take a decision, all of us came to a compromise that let's recommend the least of the punishment, which is the reprimand and apology.
I've heard rumors that the speaker may end up directing that he be suspended for a week
I don't
following
know. I can't tell.
Would you be surprised to hear that?
I'm not part of leadership, so I can't say anything about that. But it is within the discretion of the speaker to decide and for us to vote on the same.
Many thanks for speaking to us.
welcome.
Abdallah Banda is a member of the Ghartey committee that did the investigation into the bribery scandal in Parliament, and he's also the chairman of the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament.